Good morning to you all, good morning. 19th of September 2022. The historians will record today as the funeral day for Queen Elizabeth II, Queen of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and many, many other places. A sombre occasion, a day to say goodbye to our Queen. I was sort of thinking about this, 20 or 30 years ago, I quite possibly would have been involved in some very, very minor way with some of the events of the day. It's a little bit strange being detached. For many of you, you will be having a day where you probably won't be going to work. Some of you will be, some of you working in the transport industries and things like that will be, but many others will not. It's been declared as a national holiday in Great Britain, and many of you will spend a fair amount of the day watching the events live on television or perhaps on the internet. Yeah, a sombre day. It's a mixed day. We've got to remember that it's a great national occasion, the funeral of a queen. The only queen that I've ever known is a funny word. I never knew the Queen as such, but she was always our Queen. She'd been on the throne 6 years when I was born, so she's been the Queen throughout the whole of my life. So a great national event, but we must never forget it's also a family event. Now there's a family that are burying their mother, their grandmother, their great-grandmother, and for them they have to somehow find the strength to get through the day without falling prey to all of the emotions that surround a family event. So perhaps those of you that are in the habit of praying, perhaps you may pray for King Charles, his wife, his children, as they go through what will be for them a very difficult and very trying day. Well, I'd got out deliberately a little bit earlier than usual. I thought it might be nice just to spend 5-10 minutes stretching my legs. This is the town of Yzeures, Creuse. We're in the Place Mado Robin. If we go down that way, we will find a little bridge. Now, some of you might have guessed that by the fact that this is the Rue du Pont. It goes across the river Creuse. And we've got these modern signs. The bell ringing at 8 o'clock, and it's 8:05 according to the clock. Okay. Angles-sur-l'Anglin is a delightful place, well worth a visit. Come to that. Vic-sur-Garton is quite pretty. But something that I thought you might like to see. Look at that. Yeah, that's the old sign. Now the bell that's now ringing just after 8 o'clock is the Angelus bell. I speak about it quite a bit. It interests me that in Yzeures-le-Ferrand it's at 7 o'clock in the morning. Here it's 8 o'clock. Now, all good Catholics amongst you will know that when the Angelus bell sounds, you're sort of supposed to stop and, well, pray the Angelus. It's a sequence remembering how the angel announced to Mary and she conceived of the Holy Spirit. That's what good Catholics do. I don't know what the rest of you do. I suspect some of you say, I wish that bell would stop ringing. The other day we looked at some X thingies. The chainage that hold buildings together. Well, there's some very, very fancy chainage on this church tower. They're rather wonderful, aren't they? That must have been fun putting that one up there. It's got a long strap that reaches quite a good distance. I'm not going to be building anything quite like this. Not this week anyway. Of course, in times gone by, this part of the town was very, very much the commercial centre. But like so many towns in the world, most people here do their shopping where I'm about to go. A little bit up the road, not even a kilometre, is where the big supermarket is, and the brico-marché where I get all my sand and cement and stuff. And if you're doing nothing on the 23rd, 24th and 25th of September, between 10 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening, there will be a sale in the Salle des Fêtes here in Yzeures by the Yzeures organisation. Now this is a charity organisation, and I'll say it's a Christian run and organised charity. They like a lot of donations of usable things, clothes, cutlery, crockery, things like that they sell cheaply. If you are in real dire straits, my understanding is they will give it to you. I can't vouch for that because of course I'm not in real dire straits. But the money they raise goes to help people with financial difficulties, with social life difficulties. I don't know, I might find time to come and look, but I've got enough crockery and cutlery of my own, so I might give that a miss. But there we are. I've walked about in just my shirt long enough to be a little bit chilled, so I'm going to jump in the car and go and do my shopping. Well, that all went very, very well. In the brico-marché, there are some excellent characters, and they strive to keep you happy. What I went to do this morning in the brico-marché was to order some joists or bastang, 4-metre lengths, which, as I haven't got a roof rack on this car, meant that I was always condemned to get them delivered. And Yeah, I was expecting that they would say, Thursday or jeudi even, but they didn't. They smiled and they said 3 o'clock this afternoon they're going to deliver, which is good. In fact, it's very good, very pleasing. But it does mean that I'm going to have to sort of turn my plans for the day around a bit. But that's, that's all good. It means that tomorrow morning I can do an awful lot of throwing a ceiling into my bedroom, which with winter coming might be a good thing, mightn't it? We had a crazy debate. They've got a list of how much they charge to deliver to various places, and for reasons I don't understand, they haven't got as a Le Ferrand on their list. So we had this silly debate about how many minutes it takes to drive there. Well, that all depends on how quickly you're going to drive. But we reached an amicable sort of agreement, and why it's 3 o'clock this afternoon, they've already got another delivery, une livraison, not too far away from me. So, yeah, it all worked very, very well. Makes you wonder what could possibly go wrong. Leaving the camera running just to show you the sort of problems you have with the low sun at this time of year. But we're coming into Yzeures. I warn people about this road. It looks, if you're driving a little bit quickly, as if you just carry straight on, but you really do need to take care at this junction.